Greetings, beautiful people. It has been a while. It has been a while since I made one of these videos. But I had to come and make this video with you all, or for you all, this evening. Because if you are, well, today's date on the calendar is, what is the date? October 8th. And so no matter when you find this message, there'll probably be something in this video that will resonate with you. So one of the things, there's been so much, y'all. There's been so much. And for those of you who are also on, doing spiritual work, there's been a lot, as you probably are aware, and you probably have been experiencing it in your own life. So I know I don't have to tell you all. But there's some powerful, powerful, powerful energies that are moving through. And that's in part of what I wanted to talk about, because one of the things that I've been working on, and one of the things that I'm sensing and feeling, is this collective clearing of the root chakra. Now, listen, I really hope, make sure y'all get your tea, all right? Go to my website, www.consciouscreations.live, pick up some tea. This is actually a new tea blend. This one is made with dandelion, goldenrod, and fig leaves. And this is a very high-powered tea, which is why I like it when there's a lot of heavy and heightened energies coming through, because it helps me to really connect with those energies. So anyway, and the figs also, because we're going into Scorpio season, and and also this is an 8-day, connecting also with the Scorpio energy. So figs are very good for the reproductive system. And as we know, the scorpionic energy is the sacral chakra, or the reproductive area of the body. So in case you did not know, there you go. So so figs and fig tea are very, very good around this time of the year in general, for balancing hormones, things like that. But the root chakra. So when we are talking about the body, I want to make sure that I'm painting a very, very clear picture. So at times during this video, I may close my eyes, things like that. But that's all a part of me getting, clear insight, right, into the energy. But one of the things is, when we're dealing with the primary chakras that most people know of, or the energy centers within the body, there's primarily 7. There are more, but there are primarily the 7 that most people know about in reference. So at the base of your spine is an energy center called the root, and it's referred to as the root chakra. All of these chakras are wheels of energy that spin. They spin clockwise, and they also spin counterclockwise, which represents the masculine and the feminine polarities. And as these energies are unlocking up the spine, right, they're harmonizing, they're dancing. I look at it as a beautiful sacred dance of the awakening of this energy up the spine. Now, this energy is this is the energy that turns you on. Literally, it turns you on, because what it does is it awakens this kundalini fire within the spine. And that energy, when it comes together, it comes up to the pineal gland, right? And as it awakens the pineal to the crown, in order for you to receive your Christed consciousness, right? To your enlightenment, right? or the turning the light on in your mental, right? In your mind, turning that light on so that you can walk in the fullness of your Christed consciousness or of your divinity. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with this language, welcome, right? And for those of, and there may be some that are not resonating with what I'm saying. And even if you're looking at it from a religious perspective, this may or may not make sense for you. But the fact still stands that what it is aligning and awakening the 33 vertebrae to awaken to your Christed godhood and your Christed consciousness within you. And truly awakening your spiritual gifts, your spiritual powers. Now, as you can imagine, you know, this is a very potent energy. And so at the base of the spine, this energy is in its primal form. And as it awakens and goes up the spine, it becomes enlightened and elevated, right? And you elevate in consciousness. But one of the things that happens, and that's what I want to focus on, is that a lot of us have had childhoods and things like that have happened, or childhoods and things that have happened during our childhoods and during the years where this particular chakra begins to develop, that the energy in that space begins to really develop. And what happens is when that particular area at the base of your spine is traumatized, it affects the way the rest of the tree grows. So if you think about it like the roots of a tree, think about it like a tree, because you are in nature. So if you think about it like a seed is planted in your mother's womb, and you are, you know, in gestation for a period, and after a term, you know, after you come full term, you know, some people may have been born prematurely, whatever, but that's not the focal point, right? But the fact is that the energy is like when the seed is planted, and when that seed begins to grow, you do something to the seed that shocks the seed. And anyone who gardens or plants or farms knows what I'm talking about, right? If you do something different to the seeds, that changes how the seed grows. It affects the growth and the development of the seed, right? And so when I look at that, you know, one of the things that comes to me is how, you know, there's been this movement to strip, or an attempt to strip nature and what is natural, by planting seeds in people's minds to make people believe that having fruit with no seeds and things like that are natural and normal. And it's not, right? Because you and everything else came from a seed that was pollinated, germinated, went through planted in some sort of soil, whether that be a physical womb of a woman, or in soil, right? But either way, in order for it to develop, in order for it to do what it needed to do, it needed to be planted, it needed to be fertilized, it needed to receive the love, nurturing, everything that it needed in order to develop. But what happens is, and what has happened, is a lot of women, and I'm going to focus for now primarily on my sisters for a reason. Now, I've had this conversation several times. I'm sorry, I'm just stirring my tea and just processing. But I've had this conversation several times because I remember growing up in like the 80s, and almost all of my friends had some kind of sexual trauma. My female friends, either they were all, and myself included, either we were all molested, all raped, all attempted to be raped, all touched, fondled, or something, right? And now it wasn't until years later that I started to really process that and like, how can that be? How is it that almost everyone that I grew up with, that was a part of their life. That was a part of their experience. You know, and when you think about the spine, right? Just like a spine, they call this part of the book, right? That's the spine, as it is within you, right? And so when you think about the chakras and you think about them going up the spine, it's literally you and the divine writing your story, co-creating with the divine, writing your story, writing your book. But when you start the book from a place of trauma, that impacts the story itself. Now, still can make for a beautiful, beautiful story. But I want to focus on the why and the how we change that, because that's really what I want to talk about today. But I wanted to get clear on what it is that we're talking about and how we got to this place. So when you have a child and you damage them at the root chakra deals with things like feeling safe and secure and stability and your sense of self-worth, right? All of those things, because those are the things that you learn. Those are foundational tools, foundational characteristics that you learn as a child that help in your development. And when we're thinking about the body parts, because each one of these chakras corresponds with a particular part of the body. And the root chakra deals with the adrenal glands, and it deals with your sense of being enough, having enough, right? Of enoughness, of not, you know what I mean? Because the adrenal glands are those glands, it's that fight or flight hormone, right? It's that hormone within your body that produces that fight or flight response, because it's a primitive, animalistic blood root, you know what I mean? Down to the foundation of everything, of the foundation. And so when you keep traumatizing, let me back up for just a second. And so when you traumatize someone at this level, and they have not healed, or as they're healing also, you see the way that this plays out. You see the way that that trauma is then lived out in that person's spine, right? In the spine of their story, or in their story. You see the way that that plays out. And so that's what's happened to a lot of women, melanated women in particular. Because we also know that there's been, for years, there has been a lot of melanated women missing. I don't think that's coincidence. Well, I don't believe in coincidence, but I don't think that's coincidence. And so one of the things that I've come to also realize is that as women, when we are born, we are carrying not only the seeds for our own children, but we're also carrying our grandchildren, and we're carrying our future generations when we're born, right? The same way when our mothers were pregnant with us, they were also pregnant with their future grandchildren. I know it's crazy, but it is what it is. And so when you have trauma at the root of the tree, at the base of the tree, that is not healed, it gets passed down from generation to generation to generation. And those things have become, we refer to that as generational patterns, trauma, curses, karma, whatever the case may be. But what we do recognize is that until that energy is healed, it is passed, or it is passed to the next generation. And what I'm getting is it's passed to the next generation, not as punishment, generally speaking, but to heal, until someone heals it. Because research has shown that we are all connected through the mitochondrial Eve. And so, with some of the things that were done to the mitochondrial Eve, to the Great Mother, to the earth herself, which we are, from raping, pillaging, taking her resources, leaving her barren, stripping her. All of these things have been done to women. And those things have an effect on the DNA. They have an effect on the cells and all of that kind of stuff, until somebody comes along and heals it. So shout out to all my generational curse breakers, trauma clearers. Shout out to y'all for doing the work. Shout out to y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you for being. Thank you for being, because understandably, what you are doing, what you have done, is a heavy lift. Because you see, even in this is a heavy conversation, right? Because of the nature of it. Because think about it, the root, it carries everything. Everything is from that place. And so shout out to y'all who are doing the clearing of this energy, so that as a collective consciousness, the collective of women who resonate with this, the collective of women can be elevated from the root, from that primal, you know what I mean? From that primal, I just got to do whatever I got to do to survive. And I'm, again, clawing, right? I'm clawing my way, clawing, just to still be at the bottom. No. So shout out to y'all who are doing the work to clear this energy. And one of the things, if you are doing this work, one of the things that is absolutely key for you to do at this time and going forward, because you may feel pressure in your spine, in your root chakra, right? So one of the things is Leo, if you follow astrology and, things like that, and the zodiac signs. The zodiac sign of Leo deals with the heart. The heart chakra, right, is the fifth, the fourth, I think it's the fourth chakra. It resonates with the color green, and also pink as well. But so if you are dealing with spine issues, and you're working to clear these issues, it's important to deal with the heart chakra and also deal with the root chakra. The reason being is because what ends up happening is if the root is not clear, the things that come from the heart, what comes from the heart then becomes distorted. And that reminds me of the scripture that says, from the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? And so if what has happened at your root chakra has distorted your perception of safety, security, survival, love, self-respect, all of these things, right? And that distortion grows and it gets to your heart, right? And then you are speaking, and because you are a conscious creator, Because when you are speaking, you may be speaking things into creation that are not for your highest benefit, right? And so we want to clear that energy. And we want to clear that because we want you to be able to consciously create a reality and a life that you love, that you are worthy of. But in order to create a life that you're worthy of, you have to know that you are worthy, period. You've always been good. You've always been enough. You've always been good enough. You've always been worthy. But some of us had to go in and clean out that energy in order to walk into, awaken to our full potential and our full selves, and to your full goddess energy. But in order to do that, like I said, clearing the root, clearing the heart chakra. But it does start at the root so that everything else that grows from there can grow from a healthy and secure place, right? So that you can build on a firm and solid foundation, one that's built on security and love and knowing that you are always protected, that you are always safe, that you are always secure, that you are always thriving, right? Now, one of the things that has been shown to me that is very, very good and necessary for these root chakra clearings, one is root vegetables. So, you guys have heard me talk about like sweet potatoes, yams, things like that. But I want to focus today on beets. Okay, so this is what a beet, I cut it in half, obviously, because I'm going to juice it. I've discovered my juicer, y'all, and I'm just, anyway. So I got a juicer for my birthday, and I'm so excited because it is amazing. So invest in a juicer. I'm telling you, invest in a juicer. But anyway, so this is when you cut the beet open, this is what it looks like, right? So if you look at that, when I see that, I look at those little rings inside, and it reminds me of the rings of a tree. Because, when you cut open a tree, you see the rings of a tree. That tells you how old the tree is, or that it gives you the age of the tree, right? And so when I look at the inside of a beet, and I look at the fact that it is a root vegetable, it is the color red, which corresponds with the base or the root chakra, then that tells me, because Mother Nature will always tell you what it is and what it do. And so it helps to clear the blood and all of these things through the root chakra. Now, one of the other things that this is also good for, for example, if you let a beet sit out, cut it open and let it sit for a couple of days, one of the things that you will notice is it starts to get soft and squishy. And what that reminds me of, quite frankly, is sisters, when you're on your period and you get those blood clots, right? You get that tissue coming out of your womb. You're literally passing through this trauma, these blockages. You're passing that through your womb, right? Because they're literally blood clots that are formed inside of you that your body is getting rid of and putting a period on, right? That season, that chapter is done, period, right? So what you want to do when you're flushing out, you want to flush out the blood and cleanse the blood, because all of your experiences, everything is in the blood. It's in the DNA. It's in the tissues, right? And so as you're clearing the blood, you're literally cleansing the blood. You're cleansing the flow, allowing your energy to flow once again. Because what can happen when the chakras are blocked? They're blocked, right? And so anytime you have a blockage, it can create symptoms to show you that it's blocked, right? And if there's blockages, then that means that anything that wants to get through, it has to take a different direction, right? because it's like a detour, right? You're traveling down the street that you normally go down to go wherever you go, and you realize they're doing construction. And so there's a road blockage. So now you have to take a different direction. So some of us, our gifts, our blessings, as we say, they've had to take a detour because of our blockages that we've had. And so I want to help you all to clear those blockages, to clear these blockages so that what is for you can find its way to you. And so get yourself a good juicer, or if you like to just eat beets, just, you can do that too. But this is just one of the ways that I found that helps me. One of the things that I also like to do with it is to add carrots. And so you've heard of beta carotene. It's beets and carrots, Mother Nature, right? Beets and carrots. Get you some beets and carrots, put those together. The reason that's good is because carrots also help with your sacral chakra, which is the chakra directly above your root chakra. And this is good, particularly if you've had any sort of sexual trauma at any age, because that can cause blockages to your reproductive system. So this is if you're having things like fibroids, tumors, cysts, things like that. These are also blockages that are manifesting in your reproductive area because they are keeping you from your ultimate fertility. Now, not to say that you're trying to birth actual little people and human beings, right? But what I am saying is it is the seat of your creativity. So if you're feeling like your creative energies have been blocked or anything like that, you may want to also, like I said, add carrots, yams, orange. It resonates with the color orange, right? And so this is the time of the year that is absolutely good for that, because as we know, in certain parts of the world, it's the fall. And in the fall, the leaves start to change color to colors like oranges, reds, right? Browns, those things. If we are in flow with nature, then these are some of the things that are going to help to flow in and with nature during this time, right? To make sure that your energy is flowing. Continue to drink your water, continue to drink tea, things like that, to make sure that the energy is flowing in and through your body. And continue to do your chakra work, continue to clear any sort of issues that you've had. Continue to clear that energy. Now, let me see if there's anything else. Oh yeah. So with the adrenal glands, I know I mentioned that the adrenal glands are responsible. It's the hormone that's responsible, the gland that works with and contains the hormone that is responsible for your fight or flight response. Now, in all of this, we're dealing with the nervous system. So we just had a full moon in Aries, and Aries deals with the head. Aries is also governed by the planet Mars, which is the planet of war and how you fight, right? And so again, if that energy is out of alignment, then you may have more of a fire, anger, passion, it's all energy. It's just how you use the energy. And my goal is to help people to use their energy in a way that's going to be effective for you to create the life that it is that you're desiring to live, and to do the work that it is that you came to do, and to walk in the purpose that you came to walk in, right? And so if the life that you are living and the life that you're experiencing and creating does not resonate with that, then you may have some blockages and some things that you want to clear up. But again, always remember that it's about managing and balancing your nervous system and keeping your nervous system to a place where you are able to control your 12 disciples, right? Control those energies within you, controlling your own disciples, discipling yourself, disciplining yourself. And so if you all have, I hope that, I trust that that makes sense. So once again, I just have to, because I know this work and I know the challenges that a lot of you have been going through, because I've been there. I've been there with you, right? And shout out to you. Shout out to you. This is your time. This is your time to shine. All the work over the last however long you've been doing this work, it's your time to shine. And I just want you to know that you deserve all the great things that are coming your way. All the great things that are already here for you, that are lining up to greet you at your door. All the things that are on their way to you, that are already in your energy. You deserve it. You deserve it. Know that you deserve it. Know that you are worth it. Know that you are worthy. Know that you've always been worthy. If you need some support in balancing your chakras, you can, again, visit my website, www.consciouscreations.live. I do have a collection of chakra oils, and my root chakra oil, or our root chakra oil, is called I Am the Bag and I Am Secure, because you are. So, until next time, love yourselves well. You deserve it.